Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Hammond or, well, Wrecking Ball spray references and just other references actually, and see what we can actually pair together with things that have been released within anime and just within other movies and games and so on. And as you guys seem to have just sort of summarized by yourself, obviously I'm an expert at this. By the way, I've never really watched any anime ever, but hey, YouTube comments know best, right? So let's just get started. First up is actually a non-anime reference, and it's this one right here. This spray from Hammond is, it appears to be him just wearing a crown, but it's oddly similar to a very sort of iconic shot from Conker's Bad Fur Day. Now, if you don't know this game, this is kind of a famous and infamous game at the same time. I don't think it really did that well when it actually came out, but it sort of gained a cult following over time. It's a very well-known game, released all the way back in 2001 for the N64. I think it was actually also on the original Xbox. Either way, it's one of those games that some people just will know and actually love, but it definitely has gained a cult following, and a lot of people will at least know the sort of box art and at least kind of know the game. So yeah, a bit of a Conker's Bad Fur Day reference there for sure. Either way, after that we have this Kamina reference. So Kamina is a character from this anime called Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. I don't know, I might be saying that really wrong, I have no idea, but either way, it's from this anime, and the Hammond spray right here looks very similar to this shot right here of Kamina. And I mean, there's no mistaking, that's definitely what it's referencing, since just even the lens flare type of thing is so similar, and yeah, definitely from there. Pretty cool reference. I actually really like this spray though. Yeah, I don't know, it just looks good. I think a lot of the Hammond art is drawn very well, but yeah, either way, let's move on to the next thing, which is one that I think a lot of people have sort of put together themselves, but I thought it included here, and it's of course the Hamtaro reference. It's kind of interesting. A lot of people looked at this spray, of course, and went, oh yeah, that's definitely a Hamtaro reference. And it is initially with, of course, this picture right here that I'm sure you've seen before in these sort of references videos, or just, on Twitter or whatever. There's actually a second image as well. This one right here with Hamtaro and the sort of nuts or whatever as well. And these are kind of those two paired together, but also with Hammond's sort of attitude as well. But yeah, Hamtaro reference right there for you. Pretty straightforward one. After that, we have another one that some of you may have also spotted, and that is Hammond with crossed arms right here in his pod. Now, this looked oddly familiar to something, even I actually recognized this one properly straight from the start. And of course, it is very similar to just Vegeta sitting in his sort of pod. And of course, Hammond and Vegeta do have very similar pods, just these sort of spheres that fly through space. But yeah, this has to be referencing Vegeta, just because the pod in itself and the pose and everything is just too perfect to not be that. But yeah, I thought I'd include that here too. Another one of those that I'm sure a lot of people loved when they actually saw it. But yeah, here it is. In case you didn't know, that's where that's from. Next up, maybe one that's also kind of obvious, but I wanted to include it either way. Hammond has this spray where he's turned into a ball and he's just rolling super fast forward. I believe it's called Hamster Ball, but of course it's pretty much a Sonic reference, as Sonic kind of turns into a ball when he goes super fast in all of the games. And I mean, this has gotta be a Sonic reference, like it has to be. It's a very easy one to make, and you could make the argument that, oh no, he's actually just turned into a ball and he's rolling around, which is kind of, his mech. But at the end of the day, a lot of people drew the sort of Sonic or Monkey Ball type of references early with this, and I feel like this definitely fits in there too. After that, we actually have a victory pose reference, and this one is also one that you probably recognize from Overwatch in itself, which is of course the fact that Diva and Hammond both have mechs, and with that they have some similar victory poses here, chewing bubblegum at the top of their mechs. But regardless, pretty nice to see this in the game. We actually saw this victory pose quite a while back before it was properly revealed, but I wanted to include it in this references video, as there are some really good references in there, but I wanted to talk about this one right here, because this is the one that I don't really get, and it looks like it should really be a reference. Like, to me, this seems like the sort of typical spray that this is definitely a reference to something. I believe it's just called Moon, and yeah, it's got the moon in the background, it's got Hammond outside of his pod, probably landed on Earth or whatever, standing on top of it, but that pose and just everything about this picture seems like it's definitely a reference to something. I just don't know what, so if you know, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, hey, maybe I'm missing something obvious, but I wanted to include that one here. And last but absolutely not least, I just wanted to include this spray that I think is really good with Winston and Hammond. I think it's called Friends. It's really wholesome, it's really nice, just both of them sort of hanging out. Of course, it's sort of young Winston and young Hammond, I guess you could say, just having a good time. There's a bunch of peanut butter around as well. But yeah, I wanted to include that with all the sprays as well, since when I was looking through them, I just thought this one is definitely the best one, at least in my opinion. But that is basically it for all of the different references. Maybe there's some other anime reference in it that I've not spotted that all of you people in the comments that all seem to be watching anime, at least according to the last Moira video we did, can point out for me. But yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and or if you saw something that you didn't know about before, and subscribe for more Overwatch content as per usual. But that's all for now. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you then.